have a presentation by Harold, the CEO of Particle, who make fine art accessible to the masses by fractionalizing it through NFTs. So it's something really interesting. They have recently acquired a Banksy's art piece from Sotheby's. So he's going to talk about lots of exciting things. Thank you.
Thanks.
In the past life.
Hi, everyone.
It's basically a try to...
How do I start this? There we go. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk to everybody about fine art, really, and fractionalizing fine art with NFTs, and essentially with a mission of making fine art more accessible to the masses. I think this is really where Web3 and NFTs come, have a very strong case and application, is in democratizing the fine art experience generally, which is only accessible to in its entirety to a very small portion of the population. How do I define the fine art experience? Essentially in four pillars. Starting with the art, number one, right? Art, there's nothing can compare to actually being in front of these masterpieces physically. So the art always has to be at the front of everything. And museums and galleries, they do, of course, a very good job of putting art in front of people, but you have private collections, works of art that are in free ports and storage around the world that's inaccessible to a lot of people. The second piece, very important, is knowledge or education, right? People do art history degrees, study the art market, but also it's an educational process that's endless in training your eye, right? What does it mean to, what is good fine, what is considered fine art? And there's, it's subjective, but there's still a consensus, which means that this kind of training your eye process is one that is very important. The third one is access. Access to artists, to galleries, to actually art if you want to buy it. Very difficult to get access to some even emerging artists, to advisors, to shows, to fairs, etc. And the last piece is really ownership. And most people have a combination of, let's say, 1 to 3 of these kind of pillars of the fine art experience, but very few actually have all 4. And that is that kind of opaque, tightly knit fine art community who are the current champions of the art world, right? They're the people who can make or break artists, that curate shows that go into the greatest museums, etc. And really, Web3 and NFTs unlock this power of community, right? And give us a chance to actually democratize this whole experience and make it accessible, or make the fine art world, which is one of the industries that's been the slowest to kind of change, right? I think healthcare even changed quicker than that. So Web3 and NFTs allow us, via fractionalizing the ownership of artworks, right, that being the key, that ownership enhances the enjoyment of art. So it's this concept, and it's almost like a chemical reaction in your brain, where if you own something, you enjoy it that much more. So if I'm with a friend and we're at a gallery, we have a painting in front of us, can enjoy it, experience it similarly, but if they own it, they're going to have that much more the experience is going to be that much more elevated. And so that's the kind of key of getting in there, and then creating communities around ownership of these works of art and making them champion the artists that they kind of subscribe to, and enable them to build their own collections. And there's this concept of the IKEA effect, which is basically when you buy an IKEA furniture and you put it together, you kind of value it more than actually what you paid for it, because you had to put in the work. But I think these communities in our space that everyone here is talking about, right, is these communities come together and build a collection together via their fractionalized ownership. You won't never be able to afford X, Y, Z artists, but together you can, and together you build that collection, you create that collection, you build up artists that you think deserve the spotlight, and it's an opportunity that's unprecedented, where before only very few people were the kind of tastemakers of the art world. Really, the ultimate goal is to create a new class of collector, of curator, of steward, and of protector of fine art. And I think that this kind of via NFTs and via the communities that are built in Web3 and the tools that are built on top of the blockchain to allow people to come together to communally manage assets that before they weren't able to do, I think is kind of what is going to move the needle, hopefully, on a fine art world being a little less intimidating, a little more inviting to outsiders. And thank you. This is kind of what we did with Particle. And so if you want to, you can scan the QR code. You can either buy a piece of this Banksy or follow us and see what our next additions to our collection is going to be. Thank you.